Oh my goodness. What's going on today? This is my 2024 Honda XR150L street legal dual sport, and I've ordered a sprocket here. Just came in today from Sprocket specialists. So far we've done some mods to it already. I put a windshield on there. I did the intake airbox mod, exhaust mod. I put a big bore kit on it, so it's got a 70mm piston. I did that in a previous video. So I'm pretty happy with the increased performance, but this is going to increase the gear ratio a little bit. So right now the max speed on it is just a little over 100 kilometers per hour, and it has a 17-tooth drive sprocket from factory. So this is an 18-tooth. My goal is for lower RPMs with higher speeds. It shouldn't be too difficult. You're gonna have to take off the cover on the front here, loosen up the tensioners on the back, and the axle. The axle's actually gonna have to come ahead a little bit to accommodate this. I think I've got most of the tools I need here. So this sprocket cover here is 8mm, two 8mm, one on the top and one on the bottom. The retainer has two 10mm bolts in it. I'm not sure if the sprocket is going to come off there until we slacken the rear axle and adjusters. Okay, I got the factory sprocket retainer off there, and now I'm gonna move back here to the rear axle. I'm gonna have to loosen this off a little bit, as well as these adjusters on both sides. I believe this is a 17mm on this side, and I think it's a 24mm on the other side, and then 12mm and 14mm on the adjusters. Okay, so what I've done is I've marked one side of the inner nut there with Sharpie paint marker. These things are amazing. Oil-based paint marker. So if I back this side off, like let's say 6 or 10 revolutions, I'm going to want to do an equal amount on the other side. So this will allow me to count the revolutions easier by marking it. Okay, that's probably loose enough. Now I'm going to loosen off the adjusters here. So the lock nut is 12mm. Pretty sure. Oof, might have to hold the inner. I guess they're both backing off together. So that's 1 revolution, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do 6 on this side and 6 on the other side as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll allow me to actually move the rear axle forward a little bit and slacken the chain to get the front sprocket off. Okay, I got the axle to slide ahead that much, and you can see the chain is very slack now. But that should give us enough slack to get this sprocket off of here now. There we go. Oh yeah. Greasy. Oh my goodness. I guess I should have got the new one out of the package. Ta-da. Shiny. It has a part number 5022 on it. See if we can get her in here. Oh yeah. Looks like we got enough slack on the chain. Might have to just rotate this output shaft a little bit. I don't know if it's neutral or not. There we go. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. Nice. Look at this. And it comes with a different type of retainer, but I'm perfectly fine with that as long as it fits it ships. We'd have to get something to snap that on there, Wisp maybe. There she is. Oh yeah. Nice. So that one extra tooth on the drive sprocket should give an overdrive, so it should drive the rear wheel a little bit faster, or bring the RPMs down a little bit to produce the same speed. But ultimately, with the performance upgrades, I'm hoping to get a little bit more speed out of it. So now I'm just gonna have to check my chain deflection. Looks like I'll have to tighten it up a bit. Equal amounts on both sides. And shoot for 1 inch of free play here. And then I can tighten up the rear axle and put the cover back on here. So I measured the deflection on the chain there, and we got right about 1 inch is where I want it. And I also measured the side to side on the wheel to make sure it's true there, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to use an open end to hold the set nut right where I want it, and I'm going to use the 12 mil to lock down the lock nut in the back. Tighten it up. Do the same on the other side. Hold the set nut so it doesn't move. Tighten the lock nut. Now I can tighten the axle in place. Okay, so I got the chain tension set, got 1 inch deflection, and I got everything locked down and tightened up back here. And I got the clip on here. It was pretty tight getting it on, but that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on. Actually, before I put the cover back on, now is a good opportunity to lubricate the chain, I suppose. This is bike chain lube, but anything's better than nothing. So yeah, give her a little spray with that. She's a 2024, but she's got quite a few miles on it, so it's good to keep up on the maintenance, change your oil and lubricate your chain and all that good stuff. Okay, I got the new sprocket installed, so we'll have to get it out and try it and see how it goes, but I'm expecting this to increase the top speed because it does have the big bore kit to support the torque down low, so I'm sure this will push it just a little bit further. Okay, it's a new day. So I had it out last night, I think it was, with the new sprocket, and then I took it to work today. It's not a whole lot faster, but it's a little bit faster, and the RPMs are a little bit lower. I think my speedometer was reading like 120 going downhill today, so it won't maintain that on the flat, but it's a little bit faster. The top speed now on flat seems to be about 110 kilometers per hour, but I think it's going to help a little bit to bring the RPMs down and have a little bit of overdrive. But I'm not noticing any torque loss down low. I think the big bore kit does a good job of compensating. It produced a lot more torque when I put the big bore kit on originally. Overall, I would recommend it for someone who does more highway driving like I do, if you have enough power to push it.